old dog, the new tricks.
What if I told you that this one tool helped me fix my lawnmower? Alright, yeah! Helped me look up Hamlet, Shakespeare.
To be or not to be, that is the question.
Helped me research an 1800s convict from Australia. Land ahoy! All with one tool. Hi, I'm Phil. I'm in my 60s. I know, hard to believe. I'm no tech expert, but this thing genuinely blew my mind. So if you stick with me, let's look at this together, shall we? Right, so have you heard of NotebookLM? Yeah, this is it's been out for a little while now. It's owned by Google, and it's one of the many tools that they have. I just want to run through a couple of little things with you. So if you just go up to this address here, notebooklm.google.com, it's necessary to have a Gmail account, a Google account, which I think most of us do. If you don't, it's free. You can set it up, and it's really easy to set up. By the way, if at any time through my video and you want a little bit of help with some other program or ChatGPT or something like that, just, like I said, I'm not an expert, but I've been using these things for a little while now. This one, however, I've only been using for the last 3 weeks, so I'm still learning. Anyway, if you go into it and you'll see create a new notebook, that's what you'll be going into. You can see I've got a few there that I've been working on already, only for the last couple of weeks. Now, let's say I wanted to research something, anything at all. I was researching my Ryobi lawnmower, so I had literally put it in there, and you can just press go and search and it'll do its thing. If you have files like the manual, you can upload that to it, which is what I did. You've got website, if you've got text you've already copied, or if it's on your Google Drive, if you have that, then that can go in there as well. However, to save a little bit of time for you today, I've already done this. So we'll go back into our main page, and one of the ones that you'll see here is Ryobi Riding Tractor Lawnmower, and that's the manual. So I'd already put that in, and if you look on the right hand side here, after it actually looks at the sources, like there was just one source which I had, which was a PDF, over here you've got flashcards, you've got infographics and all the rest of it. So I already went ahead and made an infographic just to give you an idea of what this thing does. You can zoom in and out of these things, but if you look here, there's my model ride-on lawnmower. Over here, I've got safety and tools, what to wear when you're doing this stuff. Core components, control panel, tells you what it actually does. This is better than reading a manual, isn't it? So much better. System testing and troubleshooting steps, and on it goes. Sometimes when you've got something with extra arrows, you can click on that and it'll keep going deeper, telling you more information about the drive system, the motor, and the charging. Depends on what the subject is or what you're looking at. You can see that is quite large for an infographic. That's just a very brief overview of that one. So let's go back up to here, and let's say, I was talking about Hamlet before. So, okay, so look over here. All I did was I put in Hamlet, search for Hamlet by Shakespeare up on that sourcing part there. It came through and found all these. Now, what you can do once it searches for something, you can say, well, maybe that's not pertinent. You can untick that, and on it goes. You pick the best ones, and you know what it is. If you also have the sources and you have the links all ready to go, you can actually paste those in there as well. But it doesn't seem necessary at this point. But right here, I went ahead and looked at a couple of these things here. So I went into the infographic, and it comes up here with something very interesting. And here we have, look at that. Look at that. That's just a picture in one go. And look, I've been absolutely amazed with this. How it breaks it all down into one picture or infographic. All right, now that's exciting. All right, so we go back. Notice here that I've done this one here, which is a mind map. So once you want to do one of these, you just click on it. There's quite a few I haven't done, like a slide deck, video overview. Yes, it'll do that. It'll do an audio overview where there's two people talking. Yes, I'll show you that later. But with this mind map, this is another one, bit like the one we just looked at. And you can click into these and you'll see the plot summary of Hamlet, and on it goes. All right, I think you get the idea there. It's just fun doing it. In fact, If you haven't done it yet, just do it with me. All right, so say we wanted to get rid of that, and we go back into Notebook. Say I was creating a new one. I was actually researching the last female convict of Moreton Bay, which her name was Hannah Rigby. All right, so what we do here, we just go Hannah Rigby convict, and listen, just keep in mind, it's like when you're on Google or anything, it's better than Google. But if you're on Google and you type Hannah Rigby, there might be 100 Hannah Rigbys, right? So just to put convict, so there's no misinterpretation of what you're looking for. You just hit that, and it'll start researching the websites over here. All right, let's see this. It's come up with some information already. You can click on. It's got 7 more sources there. But once again, you can have a look at these and go, oh, maybe that's not relevant. But actually, all these seem relevant. All right, so I'm going to go back because I took the liberty of doing this before, so we're not wasting everyone's time. So I'll just click into that. Okay, one little thing here before we go into the right-hand cards here. You can also say, tell me about Hannah Rigby. I'm not the greatest of typists. And treat me like I am a 12-year-old. Keep it short. All right, let's see what that does. This is something I just found out about half an hour ago that you can also do during the search time. So imagine being sent to the other side of the world to a prison colony, not once but 3 times. This was the life of Hannah Rigby. All right, she was a talented sewer. She was a seamstress. She struggled to survive. She was a record breaker. She was a hard worker. She liked a good party. Yes, that was interesting in a story too. Okay. So if you just want something quick, you do that. Otherwise, have a look over here. All right, a slide deck. All right, the life and trials of Hannah Rigby. This is a mind map. Once again, I love how this broke this down so seamlessly and easy for us. Told us where she was born and where she died and what she did. Criminal history. All right, now that gets quite a bit. And when they say criminal, and by the way, it was silly stuff that she was, this crime here, she stole cotton. And she was sent on a ship to Australia, to Sydney. Then she stole ribbon. She went to Moreton Bay. Here's a 3rd sentence. Back to Moreton Bay for stealing hats. Pretty tough back then. How many children did she have? There we go. There's the 4 of them that we know of. The unnamed son, there's actually no record of his name. Her life in Moreton Bay, so just clicking on that. Look at that. Her incarceration sites, right from the UK to Parramatta to Moreton Bay to Eagle Farm. I was amazed to see this. And sometimes they'll go even deeper, like I showed you with a lawnmower. It might have other arrows to go through. Anyway, we can just click up here. We can go back to Studio right up here. Now, what else do we have? There's a quiz. So with the quiz, this is a good one. Imagine if you're a school teacher or something and you needed something, this is what you want. So here we go. In which English city was Hannah Rigby born before being transported to Australia? Liverpool? Yes, that's right. And if you want a deeper explanation, it'll go, okay, and then you just quickly go on the next one. What was Hannah Rigby's skilled trade? Well, we already know she was an embroiderer and a seamstress. If you click the wrong one, it'll tell you it was the name of the father. Not quite right. George Page was Hannah's husband, but Robert Frederick was born several months before they married. Click out of that now. Okay, we'll click out of that. Go back to Studio again. What else have we created? This one absolutely amazed me. And you see this little bit here, interactive mode. I'm going to press that and you just wait and see what comes up here. Let's see if you can hear this. We've got 2 hosts.
Imagine playing a board game where you start with like absolutely no money. You aren't allowed to pass go, but you still have to pay rent every single turn.
Right. The math essentially guarantees you're going to have to break a rule just to stay in the game.
Exactly. Welcome to today's deep dive. You've shared this really fascinating stack of historical logs and colonial letters with us, all centering on one woman.
Hannah Rigby. Yeah, and our mission today...
I'll just interrupt it there. Wait, what? That's incredible, isn't it? I was absolutely amazed. And watch what happens when I do this.
To figure out how a convicted serial ribbon thief...
Join.
Oh, hey, I think our listeners got something to say.
Yes, hello. Can you tell me what age she was when she died?
Oh, that's such a great question. You've cut right to a fascinating historical discrepancy.
Absolutely. The recorded age is one of the most poignant parts of her story.
Because the newspapers and her official death register reported that Hannah Rigby was 77 when she died in 1853.
Which is an incredible age for that.
Wow. Oh, okay. It's going to come on. You know what's going to come? What's happening now? Yes, it's the dad dance. Get ready.
Did you see that? Did you see that? YouTube! Did you see that? Did you see that?
All right, the other one we can look at, apart from that, is a convict story. So we'll just click on that. This is a video overview. Now let's see what it does here. It brings up the screen.
Okay, so let's dive into the story of Hannah Rigby, who is one of Australia's most notorious convict women. But here's the thing, her official record, it only tells you half the story. The reality is way more complex and honestly, pretty surprising. So on one hand, you've got the official records, right? They call her a recalcitrant thief, a repeat offender who was transported not once, not twice, but 3 separate times. But then, get this, a respected doctor who actually employed her described her as an exemplary servant. I mean, it's like they're talking about 2 completely different people.
So that's the big question we're tackling, isn't it? Who was the real Hannah Rigby?
And we can fast forward. I mean, wow. Don't you think?
And then James Hexton, a free man, which was a pretty rare and valuable connection to have in a place like a penal colony.
Now, this is where things get really intense. For crimes she committed in the colony, and we're talking about stealing things like ribbons and hats, Hannah was transported again, this time to the Moreton Bay Penal Settlement, which was notoriously brutal. She was sent there not once but twice.
Look, I'd appreciate it if you put some comments in while we're doing these or afterwards. I'd love to hear from you folks. I'd love to hear your experiences. If there's something you want to sort of look at more closely, I'm only more happy to do this. This is fun, right? So look, if you haven't done so already, get onto it. Get onto Google. Get yourself this NotebookLM. Listen, for next week, and we're going to keep this interesting, I thought, well, ChatGPT, everyone knows ChatGPT. Well, I thought, why don't we go head-to-head with ChatGPT and NotebookLM? So we're going to see what the difference is. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. It really helps and encourages me to do more of these. And I'm having fun. I hope you do too. Put something in the comments. I'll see you again. See you next time. I hope to do one of these once a week. Thank you.
An old dog, the new tricks, kicking dust from my traveling boots. Never too old, try something new. Every mile.